This is an update on our investigations into the criminal activities that we experienced as a country during the June 25th, 2025 protests. As you are aware, in a press address on June 24th, 2025, the Inspector General of the National Police Service urged those Kenyans who were organizing and those planning to participate in the demonstrations the following day of Wednesday, 25th June 2025, to do so within the confines of our law. The Inspector General emphasized the importance of maintaining order during the protests and pledged the full support of the police in ensuring the safety and security of all the participants. The Inspector General reassured citizens that their right to peaceful assembly, as enshrined in Article 37 of our Constitution, would be upheld and that law enforcement will facilitate a secure environment for the exercise of their rights. However, on Wednesday, June 2025, Kenya witnessed demonstrations dubbed Gen Z anniversary protests. While some citizens turned out peacefully to exercise their constitutional rights to assemble and express dissent, a well-coordinated network of criminal actors infiltrated and hijacked these demonstrations. These criminals came out with the sole intention to cause chaos, loot, destroy lives and property, with a clear, coordinated agenda to forcibly enter lawfully protected areas and destroy government installations. We acknowledge with deep sorrow that these events resulted into the loss of innocent lives. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the families who have unfortunately and regrettably lost their loved ones. Law enforcement officers suffered significant harm while protecting genuine protesters, property, and maintaining law and order, with at least 11 officers sustaining serious injuries, some life-threatening. Every life loss is a tragedy that shakes the conscience of our nation. We mourn with you and we remain committed to ensuring that justice is not only done, but is seen to be done. No family should ever suffer such pain under the pretense of protests or the breakdown of public order. We confirm that what began as peaceful civic education in certain parts of the country quickly devolved into orchestrated violence. Intelligence and arrest records reveal that some individuals with specific instructions to attack public institutions and security installations were ferried in unmarked vehicles from particular areas that security agencies are currently looking into. Our investigations have unearthed a series of deeply troubling incidents. There was widespread destruction of critical government infrastructure, such as Kikuyu law courts, Kikuyu government offices, and multiple police stations, including Olkalau Police Station, Dagoretti, Gajui Police Post, and the Kamukunji Police Station, amongst others. Several firearms and police equipment were stolen during these attacks, and disturbingly, some of these weapons have already been used in violent robberies last night within Naivasha police station area. The G3 rifle that was stolen from Kikuyu police station was used in the commission of violent robberies within Naivasha police station. A grenade launcher, 4 guns, and other police equipment, including uniforms and anti-riot gear stolen, have so far been recovered and the perpetrators apprehended. Businesses, both public and private, were not spared either. Notably, several wholesale and retail outlets within the Nairobi CBD, Kitengela, Dagoretti, Naivasha, and Nyeri, amongst others, were brazenly looted and vandalized. Automated teller machines were violently broken into and many millions of shillings stolen in the midst of the chaos. In addition, we received credible reports of assault and sexual violence committed by criminals who had earlier infiltrated the demonstrations, further compounding the gravity of the situation. On June 26, 2025, Nduyunjeru Police Station in North Kinangop sub-county experienced a very, very violent incident where approximately 400 armed individuals stormed the facility, demanding the release of 4 prisoners arrested earlier on for theft of stock. Despite the officers' resistance, the crowd overwhelmed them, resulting in the burning of the police station and the tragic suffocation and deaths of 3 suspects who were in custody, whereas one is currently hospitalized and is in a very, very critical situation. This incident, while not directly linked to the events of June 25th, reflects the ongoing momentum of violence against police stations in the country, a trend that continues to threaten law and order and as well jeopardize our nation's peace and security. Fellow Kenyans, we must not allow our nation to spiral into anarchy and chaos. The police will not remain passive while lawlessness threatens our collective peace and our collective security. As of today, 485 individuals have been arrested in connection to what happened on June 25th. Of these, 448 have already been charged in court and 37 remain under active investigation, some pending further custodial hearings. The charges range from murder, terrorism, rape, gang rape, arson, obstruction of police officers while on duty, breaking and stealing, robbery and as well robberies with violence, stealing from locked motor vehicles, incitement to violence, handling stolen goods, malicious damage to property, and possession of illegal firearms. Further investigations, including statements obtained from those arrested suspects, reveal a deliberate and well-funded plot to incite chaos, civil unrest, and widespread anarchy under the guise of public protest. Evidence indicates that individuals were strategically mobilized and transported, particularly into Nairobi, from various parts of the country, not to express their legitimate grievances, but to execute a well coordinated agenda of disruption and violence. These actions were not by any means spontaneous. They were orchestrated. And we are actively pursuing the key planners, the mobilizers, the financiers, and the facilitators behind this kill. And they will be brought to justice very soon. The complaints we have received from across the country draw a clear and troubling line between lawful protest and outright criminality. While some youthful protesters joined the demonstration in good faith, some individuals tragically, even some who had marched peacefully, later turned on fellow Kenyans. They engaged in sexual violence, theft, and broke into homes and businesses. Such acts not only violated the law, but also betrayed the very ideals the protests purported to uphold. When demonstrations descend into violence, intimidation, and destruction of property, they do not advance any cause. They discredit it. They erode public sympathy and distort the message of those who genuinely seek reform through lawful and other constructive means. It must be clearly understood that the right to protest is protected under our Constitution, no doubt. And we respect the voice of every Kenyan seeking accountability and reform. However, when a bona fide protest is infiltrated by criminal elements, it becomes a threat to national security and a threat to public safety. I must commend those who protested peacefully and distanced themselves from acts of lawlessness. Some among them became victims, themselves were attacked, robbed, or assaulted by those who took advantage of the mob. To those who orchestrated, funded, and mobilized the undermining of genuine protests, your actions are an assault to the exercise of the sovereign power of the people of Kenya. It has not gone unnoticed, and as you will be swiftly held accountable for your deeds. We call upon members of the public to continue sharing information that leads to the tracking of the stolen firearms. Actually, as this afternoon, we were able to recover one of the stolen pistols from Kikuyu police station. The stolen goods from businesses, the apprehension of the suspects, and to restore normalcy in the affected areas. We also call upon all the victims of the thuggeries, those whose shops were looted, property destroyed, and who are yet to report to the police station to come over and report to the police station so that they'll be able to assist in the investigations. To the families who lost their loved ones, to the citizens who were injured, those who lost property, and to the peace-loving citizens of Kenya, we hear you, we stand with you, and we will decisively and lawfully act in your defense. This is not just about law enforcement, ladies and gentlemen. It is about safeguarding the future of our democracy, ensuring the safety of our communities, and restoring faith in the systems that hold together our republic. Finally, we acknowledge the responsibility we bear as officers of the National Police Service and the DCI by extension to deliver justice for all victims and hold accountable those who commit crimes against innocent citizens. To fulfill this critical duty, it is essential for all Kenyans of goodwill to unite with us in eradicating the rogue elements within our society. I strongly encourage anyone with information about the individuals involved in the criminal activities that I have just cited and who are still at large to come forward and share that information with us through our toll-free hotline. Once again, I wish to reaffirm our commitment to thoroughly and promptly investigate all the criminal cases and deliver timely justice to the victims. The DCI remains steadfast and resolute in ensuring that our nation is safe and secure. Thank you very much.
The DCI will take a few questions.
DCI, my name is Mbati. I wanted to know the state of investigation with regard to claims of goons who are the goons who are involved in the environment. And their politicians mentioned this issue. For example, people are saying the opposition was involved in mobilizing these goons to attack the genuine demonstrators. Please let us know what the position of that.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Cho from Citizen TV. Just a question. Number one, where is Diangui Kinyagia? The blogger was taken allegedly by the DCI. Where is he? Number two, Diangui Kinyagia, extremely on X. Number two, which are these names that you're targeting who sponsored and goons on the streets? And number three, you talked about the violence that was sexual violence that was witnessed. Do you have cases? Which ones? Where were these offenses? Where were the offenses happening from? That would be really good to answer. And lastly, the intelligence that you say told you that you have these planners planning these things. What did you do to that intelligence you got? Did you act on it?
Asante sana. Jina langu ni Laban Shap, NTV. Kuna maswali mawili. Kuna madai ambayo yameibuka kuhusiana na wizi wa mabegi 7,000 ya mbolea kutoka kwenye bohari kule Meru ya thamani ya shilingi milioni 29.5. Je, ilifanywa na wale wahuni? Na je, ni moja ya njama ambazo zilifanywa kutumia mikakati ambayo umetaja hapo, walitumia malori na vitu kama hivyo? Pia hii leo tumemsikia aliyekuwa msemaji wa idara ya polisi Charles Owino akisema kwamba Boniface ambaye muuzaji maski ambaye alipigwa risasi katikati ya jiji la Nairobi kwamba alimtukana yule afisa wa polisi. Je, alimtukana? Na katika uchunguzi ambao unaendelea ipo katika vipengele ambavyo mnaviangalia. Ya tatu na la mwisho ni je, uchunguzi huu ambao tayari mmekwisha anza, inaonekana kwamba pengine imejikokota sana ikizingatiwa kwamba mbele ya kamera wakati wa maandamano walionekana wale wahuni wakiiba, wakivuruga na vitu kama hivyo. Sijui kama kwamba inaonekana mnalaumiwa kwamba mmechelewa sana katika kuwakamata, na hao ambao wanasemekana kwamba ndio mpanga mikakati kutoka eneo moja, ni eneo lipi na ni nani huyo? Asante.
The director will first respond to those questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ombati has asked about the goons involved in the violence. Like I said in my address, initially the demonstrations were peaceful, but along the process, the entire process was hijacked by goons who resorted to looting and destroying public property. The state has the the monopoly of violence. The state cannot cede its monopoly of violence to groups. We are investigating those allegations of the involvement of goons. Where a member of a goon or particular goons resort to violence, then that becomes illegitimate and that becomes criminal, and we're going to deal with them. Already we have got information about some of those goons, and that information, that investigation is progressing fairly well. Emmanuel Lato, citizen, you spoke about targeting. Maybe you can repeat your question, Emmanuel. What were you targeting? Of course, yes. We have started our investigations long before. And this also answers somehow the question by the NTV. We are progressing with our investigations. And we have the names of the perpetrators. As you are aware, the wheels of justice, they grind slowly. Yeah? But it grinds exceedingly fine. So very soon we shall get all of them. Yes, we have received the cases of sexual harassment, rape, and sexual assault, mainly within the domains of Nairobi area and Nakuru and Naivasha. For investigation purposes, we may not be able to share with you the details of the victims, but it is true that we have received that information and that matter is under investigation. The aspect of the fertilizers, yes, there was that allegation that some fertilizers were stolen. Again, it is a matter under investigation. It may be linked directly or indirectly to the demonstrations, but it is under investigation. Any other question? Oh, he's called who? Ndangui Kinyangi was a person of interest to us. After publishing very, very inflammatory material in the social media, I'm sure you all saw about the timetable and so on and so forth, which was trending in the social media. And our preliminary investigations established that that social media account belonged to the so-called Ndangui. And we profiled him, we identified his residence, and our officers conducted a search at his apartment in Keno. Unfortunately, he was not in his apartment, but we managed to conduct a search and we were able to recover an assortment of electronic gadgets that we believe would be useful to us in our investigations. And we were able to do an inventory, which inventory was clearly countersigned by the caretaker of those apartments. So mine is to confirm to Kenyans that Ndangui is not under the custody of the National Police Service. He is a person of interest to us, and wherever he is, I will urge that he submits himself and that he surrenders to the nearest police station. I think that answers.
Yes, my name is Abdulaziz Hashem from KBC. Just back to that particular story, because we are shocked that Ndiaye is not within the custody, but today the courts have given an order for you, the DCI, to present Ndiaye at 11 tomorrow on Tuesday. So will that be possible? Then secondly, there are reports online that you have summoned the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. What are the nature of those summons, if true?
Well, like I've said, Ndiaye is not under the custody of officers of the National Police Service. And that is what I'm going to say rightly before the Honorable Judge tomorrow. We don't have him. And wherever he is, he should just come and surrender to the police so as to assist in our investigations. As regards Rigathi Gachagua, it is not true that we have summoned Rigathi Gachagua. But I would like to point out very, very clearly that Rigathi Gachagua does not enjoy any immunity against prosecution. He is subject to the laws of the land. If in our investigations, he is found to have been involved in any criminal activity, perpetrated any criminal activity, aided or abetted any criminal activity, then appropriate action will be taken against Rigathi Gachagua. Thank you. Asanteni sana. Maybe the last question?
That's just one question. Sorry, my name is Cynthia Nyango from Ramogi TV, and I just have one question for you, sir. I mean, from the investigations you've done so far and the intelligence you've gathered, do you second the CS Interior statement that on 25th there was an attempted coup? And if that is true, how far are you with the investigations?
Bwana Disi, jina langu ni Florian Regina kutoka MURURI. Swali langu litakuwa moja kwako. Wakenya wanauliza, you lied under oath on the floor of the Senate. So why should the Kenyans believe you anymore when it comes to matters criminal investigation? Mbona Wakenya waamini?
Asante sana. Let me take these two questions. Are you hearing me? From what our CS said about the attempted coup, I may not want to be an advocate for the CS. Absolutely. So he's in a better position to expound his statement. But from the activities and from what we witnessed, people looting and destroying public property, people attacking police stations, burning government institutions, destroying critical government infrastructure. I mean, how will you define such characters if they are not hell-bent on causing anarchy in our country? Which is, and if somebody causes anarchy, then in my own interpretation, that will be synonymous to an attempted coup. About I lied under oath. It is good that I have an opportunity to explain that. That when I appeared before the Senate, I swore while holding the Holy Quran. And I said that whatever I will say before the Senate shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Whatever I said, some people who did not mean well for the DCI, for reasons best known to them, misinterpreted what I said. And for those who are following the proceedings, I was sharing with the senators the timings when the suspect was brought to the police station, when he was booked, and when the officers went to the Baghdadi mortuary. What I was reading verbatim from the records in the digital OP. It's not what the DCI was saying. So some people thought it was the DCI who was saying that. No, I was explaining to Kenyans what I was reading from the digital OB, explaining verbatim. Tumeelewana, my friend? Asanteni sana. Yepi?
Kama polisi alishindwa kudhibiti, alitukanwa, alafu
Okay. Well, you cited Charles Owino. Charles Owino is not the spokesperson of the National Police Service. So he cannot speak on behalf of the Inspector General of the National Police Service. So what he said were his own personal views, and we should treat it as such. Well, he's still in hospital, and it's only the doctors who can confirm his medical status. Thank you. Okay, asanteni sana.